Good afternoon, everybody. It is Monday, and I told you guys I would do a little video here just showing some common things that I have laying around the house that I can snack on during the day, or stuff that I use on a regular basis to help me through my journey. Some things I won't show here, just my spices, have all sorts of garlic powder, oregano, cumin. I use a variety of spices to keep things, flavorful. Ground beef. I don't have anything thawed right now, but ground beef is a big staple as well. I don't have, I don't get a lot of steaks. I'll do it every once in a while when I find a good deal. But if there's a good deal on a steak, we'll grab that. But usually a lot of ground beef. Always hamburgers are usually available to make. Things like that. Some staples. That are always around. But here's just some of the things I use to help me along the journey to keep me focused here the past couple weeks. One is I need seasoning. So Frank's hot sauce. Can't go wrong adding hot sauce to anything. And also mustard. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. I'm good with just good old plain yellow mustard. I don't go nuts in buying like the organic, mustards or anything, just because for the cost of money, for the cost of the product, it's just not realistic. Something that I didn't pull out was I'll use mayo. That's just an easy way to add some flavor, add some moisture to hamburger or something, just to change up the flavor profile. It's really easy to make. I don't know why I don't make it more often. Probably just because the shelf life isn't there, like when you buy a jar of it. But I've made bacon mayo, butter mayo in the past. So definitely very easy. You can Google a whole bunch of recipes for all different mayos. You can make it really quick and real simple. And that's how I learned to do it myself. So something I should probably do more often. Something else that's an easy thing to go with is something like, tuna in a can. Again, nothing fancy. It's nothing that's costing a lot of money, but mix that with some mayo or whatever you want to mix it with. A good way just to get an easy meal in. It's got fish is great for you. Not just canned tuna, but you can do like canned salmon, mackerel, anything like that. Which, speaking of which, here we are. Sardines, everyone's favorite. Yummy, yummy. I know everyone in the house is just fighting me for these. If you do the research on it, sardines are some of the most nutrient-packed food that you can consume, especially if you get it with the bones. Bone-in is the way to go. I just get the plain ones. I don't get them in oils. I don't get them in the mustard anymore. I put my own mustard on it. It's just a very good if you're looking for a little snack or just a little something to hold you over. Something like that is easy for me to grab, open up, and take. I don't have any with me now, but definitely during the the softball season, when I'm going in between games, I'll usually buy like a box of like either Slim Jims or like the meat and the cheese combo. Just something simple that I can grab just to snack on, and whether it's in between games on a double header or just going from work right to a game. That's something simple to use. The next thing that I'm going to use here is pork rinds. Now I like the flavored ones. I usually get the salt and vinegar, but the plain ones are very versatile. I use those all the time. I use them in place of breadcrumbs when it comes to needing breadcrumbs or coating for a dish. If I'm making like chicken and I want some crunch on it, I'll use breadcrumbs. I'll also go ahead and use that. If I want a little snack, put some salsa with some cheese and melt it, or something like that. It's little nachos. Again, goes a long way. You can get the plain, you can get the flavored ones. It's just good because when you're missing that crunch every once in a while, it's just something that I really miss doing. This is a crunch of something, so that's a good way to get a crunch. Cheese, love cheese. Love going to Aldi for cheese because they have such a great selection of cheeses at a great price. Like their imported cheeses are great. I'll get deli cheese. Shredded cheese, has a little potato starch in it and stuff, so it's not the cleanest, but we use it all the time. I use it for stuff. I didn't pull any out, but we always have a plethora of cheese available. And over the last week, I found myself going a little too much to the barrel for the cheese lately. So I gotta calm down with that as well with the coffee. But hey, today I didn't have a whole pot of coffee. Just made 8 cups, drank it. But hey, it's a cut down. Deli meat, bologna's a nice simple one. But any deli meat, it's not the cleanest. It's processed, not the cleanest, but still, eating that is better than eating a box of, crackers or a bag of chips. So, ham, turkey. I like doing like salami. Any of those, any deli meat, roast beef, great for roll-ups, great for just a little snack, a little pick me up if you need it, and it's can go in my omelets, which leads me to eggs. Now these, yes, I bought from the store recently because there was just a sale, but actually just got 5 dozen on my way home from work from someone who has their own chickens and gives me a really great price. So we've been, ever since we've been getting fresh eggs locally. You can just taste the difference. They just look better when you cook them. They taste better. They're just fantastic, and supporting local communities. So definitely, if you have the availability around you, especially with the egg prices, I'm buying them from the farmer cheaper than I'm getting them from the store. So I'm all about supporting local community. So if you do have someone that you can go to for fresh eggs, meat, hey, go for it. I can't do going to a local farmer for meat, a little expensive. So I just stick with, I'm cheapest ground beef I can find in the store, usually 80-20, 73, percent, lean, 80%. That's the most I go. Something that's a nice, easy snack when you need them. Hot dogs. Salins is my go-to, but if I find a good deal on something, I'll grab them because they're quick. They can be cooked up really quick. And so just a good little snack again. Not the cleanest of options, but something there. Some other staples that I have around: cream cheese, butter. People in the carnivore community, keto community, I'm sure staples for you. But butter I cook in butter. I cook in bacon fat. Speaking of bacon fat, bacon, lots of bacon. We always have plenty of bacon. So we're never going to be accused of not having bacon in this house. I reuse the bacon fat. I have a container right next to the stove. I pour it in, and then when I'm cooking something later, I just cook in the bacon fat. I use ghee every once in a while. Not a huge fan of the flavor of it, but I have it. Maybe I'll become a fan of it. But it's there. I don't like using the cooking sprays myself. I try to avoid those, but sometimes if you got to use it, you got to use it. I'm trying to avoid using like olive oils and things like that. I'm trying to stick with butter, bacon grease, things like that. But I still use some olive oil once in a while. Another thing that people will laugh at, but again, if you need something for breakfast to hold you over, you need something quick, simple, and at an affordable price, canned meat, Spam. They have all different flavors, and again, not the cleanest, but it's very affordable. And if something quick you can do, you can get it anywhere. If you're out, you can get it anywhere. And sardines as well, like $1 a can. I know there's people that do the sardine challenge. Not gonna probably do that. Hey, maybe I'll try for 2 days. Who knows? But never say never. I didn't say I was gonna go carnivore, and look at this. I'm 2.5 weeks in and still going strong. And the last thing that I always have is heavy whipping cream. Use it in my coffee. I can use it to make snacks. I can, beat it up, make whipping cream, and then mix it with some flavors of stuff. All sorts of possibilities with that, and I'll use that instead of using milk and stuff. I couldn't tell you the last time I had a glass of milk. I don't drink heavy whipping cream by the glass, but, I really try to avoid using milk in anything I'm doing cooking-wise. But yeah, that's just some stuff that we have, that I have that I can definitely go to if I need something. What do you have? What do you eat when you want a little pick me up? I don't have any right now, but beef jerky is a popular one. But sometimes that can get expensive. Beef jerky for a small bag. I actually want to get a dehydrator and start making my own because I see people do it all the time. It's not hard, and I'm sure I can find a dehydrator at a fair price and just dehydrate it and make my own beef jerky. Not hard at all. Keto Upgrade on here does a lot of baking. A lot of her stuff on here, is looks really good. I'm not going that route yet because I'm trying to stay away from all the treats and stuff like that. I'm really trying to focus on doing this for a couple months. Well, let's start with a couple weeks. Maybe we get to a month. Maybe we get to 2 months. Dr. Barry always says, do 90 days, beef, butter, bacon, eggs. Get down as basic as you can. And if you're not putting the sugars and everything in there, your body will heal itself. I know people are afraid to do it. There's a lot of, negative impact people are concerned about, all the cholesterol and everything. Do the research. Look at the updated medical research. Lots of smart people, as I said yesterday, who make a lot more money than me, do a lot of research, and, there's heart doctors who recommend this diet now, so, and famous heart doctors as well. So definitely, hey, that's how I learned about it. I wasn't going to start thinking, I'm, overweight, diabetic, all these medical issues. Let me just start putting all this fat in my body. But it makes sense when you do the research. So yeah, that's just some stuff that I normally cook with. Maybe I'll just take some pictures over the next couple of days when I'm eating something. Oh yeah, what I do like are those. 1 second. Probably could have just hit the pause button, but I didn't. Get these at Aldi. I don't know if they sell them anywhere else. They probably do somewhere, but these egg light wraps, they're great. I toast them up, get them nice and warm and crispy. I used that as a taco shell the other night for a taco. Obviously it's not a taco shell, but hey, it's getting the job done. It's giving me the mind. Hey, I'm eating a taco, giving me the mind there. So this week, I think we got Easter coming up here. Sausages and stuff is perfectly fine. Polish sausage, Italian sausage. We eat a lot of that as well. Yeah. So, yeah, I'll definitely start taking some pictures of some food. It's going to be a rough weekend, obviously. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of junk food available. A lot of breads are going to be available. Stuff that I know if I have a little bit, I'm going to go a little bit more and more. And, I promise you guys one thing. If I slip up somewhere, I will be honest with you. I will tell you. I've been craving, I've had a couple times when I've been craving sweets. I've passed on it. But hey, if I can't be honest with you guys are here supporting me and I appreciate it. I'm going to be honest with you. Still haven't had any soda, energy drinks. Didn't even have a Celsius or anything like that. There's been water with electrolytes. And yeah, that's just some staples here. So yeah, please share, make comments. Let me know what you guys eat. And you guys just have a fantastic day.